There's a cafe in the library where November comes to stay, where the smell of old editions meets the coffee of the day. The bookshelves press, the walls close, and the ceilings feel like thought, and everyone inside is reading something somebody sought. The catalog is handwritten in a script from long ago, each entry like a love note to a book you ought to know. The librarian serves coffee with a discretion born of years. She never interrupts the silence, even at its tears. Books and coffee, and the end of things is November's art. The old library cafe holds the year against its heart. The smell of aged paper and the warmth of something brewed is the closest thing to wisdom in an honest attitude. I found a margin note inside a novel from the stacks, a sentence underlined twice with a comment that attacks the happy ending, calling it a cowardice of sorts, written by someone decades gone in burgundy and thoughts. The cafe closes in November at an early uncertain dusk, and all the books go back to dark, and all the day to husk. But something of the afternoon stays pressed inside the shelf, like a flower in a novel, like a reader finding themselves. Books and coffee, and the end of things is November's art. The old library cafe holds the year against its heart. The smell of aged paper and the warmth of something brewed is the closest thing to wisdom in an honest attitude. Close November gently, put the books back in their row. The library cafe will be here when the winter comes to grow. He never touched an afternoon canvas, he would say. The light is compromised by everything that happened in the day. By noon the world has all its shadows in the wrong places. Morning light is the only light tells the truth in faces. He set his easel up before the cafes found their voice, and painted the first hour like it was the universe's choice. The waiter laying out the cups, the chair not yet sat in, the cafe in the interval between the night and the beginning. The painter only painted morning was known to say that all the truest beauty lives before the light of day, has been negotiated by the needs of ordinary men. The morning is the only time that things are new again. He left his paintings unfinished, always at the stroke of 9, and walked away from canvas and from easel and from line, because he said the morning ends, and if you stay too long, you start to paint the afternoon, and that is something wrong. They hang now in a gallery where mornings live all day. The curator turns off the lights at noon without delay. She says she's honoring his rule about the quality of light, and every painting only shows the world before it got it right. The painter only painted mornings, and he was known to say that all the truest beauty lives before the light of day, has been negotiated by the needs of ordinary men. The morning is the only time that things are new again. Wake at 5 and see the world before it knows you're there. The painter knew the morning light is something wild and rare.
He sets the board up every morning at 9:15. The piece is worn from decades, but the strategy's still fine. He moves the white king's pawn and waits as if someone's across. An empty chair is only opponent in this beautiful loss. He won the city tournament in '52, they say. He keeps the trophy hidden now behind a framed bouquet. His wife would come and watch him then, with coffee and her smile. He still sets out 2 cups now, in his singular old style. Every move a memory, he plays against the past. The bishop guards a corner that was never meant to last. Old man in the window seat, with everything to give, still playing all the games of life and learning how to live. The young man at the counter look and wonder why he stays. He's working out a problem that has lasted 40 days. It isn't really chess he plays, it's something more like time. The end game isn't winning, it is finding the sublime. He tips the black queen gently in a gesture old and known, and sits back in his chair as if a verdict has been shown. He'll set the board up once again, tomorrow at the same, because the point was never in the ending of the game. Every move a memory, he plays against the past. The bishop guards a corner that was never meant to last. Old man in the window seat with everything to give, still playing all the games of life and learning how to live. He folds his coat and heads back to the street with careful grace. A man who carries whole worlds in the lines upon his face.
She stands behind the counter with her pearls and her poise, above the bustle of the store, above the beautiful noise. A woman made of gardenia and sandalwood and cream. She's been here since the store was built, or so it tends to seem. She'll spray a little on your wrist and close her eyes a beat, as if she's reading something in the language of the sweet. She says this one is Tuesday afternoons in June, and this one is the feeling of a half-forgotten tune. Everything here smells like 1954, like stepping through a curtain into someone else's floor. The perfume counter at Delacroix holds time within a glass, and she's the keeper of the years that slowly drift and pass. There are bottles named for evenings that have never quite occurred, for feelings that the language hasn't yet produced the word. She blends them in the back room when she thinks that no one sees. A private little formula for something like the breeze. I bought one for my grandmother, who lives in memory now. She smelled it and she smiled, the way the old ones know somehow. She feels like standing in the hallway of the past. And some things beautiful enough deserve to last and last. Everything here smells like 1954, like stepping through a curtain into someone else's floor. The perfume counter at Delacroix holds time within a glass, and she's the keeper of the years that slowly drift and pass. Close the bottles up now, let the fragrance softly fade. But the year 1954 is quietly being stayed.
The bellman at the Grand Hotel has seen 3,000 springs. He folds his hands and watches all the winter partings bring. Their suitcases and sighing, and their quietly held hands. He says all lobbies understand the heart's repeated plans. A woman checks her coat tag with a look he knows too well. She's leaving someone here, or she is leaving her own shell. The marble knows the weight of every footstep that's been placed. On mornings when the beautiful has slowly been displaced, the lobby knows all the goodbyes, the ones that make no sound, the ones that leave a person standing inches off the ground. The winter window at the Grand holds every foggy breath of those who check out quietly from love or life or both. He's seen the famous stay and the forgotten pass right through, and finds the unknown ones are often more interesting to view. A man once left a letter in the lobby desk and said, I wrote this for the person who would sleep here in my stead. Tonight the lobby's quiet, with just one lamp by the stair. A couple has been standing there so long they're part of the air. The bellman dims the lights a touch to give them what they need. The Grand Hotel has learned to give the grieving heart its creed. The lobby knows all the goodbyes, the ones that make no sound, the ones that leave a person standing inches off the ground. The winter window at the grand holds every foggy breath of those who check out quietly from love or life or both. Good night to the Grand Hotel. Good night to all who part. The lobby keeps your goodbye safe within its marble heart.
He never touched an afternoon canvas, he would say. The light is compromised by everything that happened in the day. By noon the world has all its shadows in the wrong places. Morning light is the only light that tells the truth in faces. He set his easel up before the cafes found their voice, and painted the first hour like it was the universe's choice. The waiter laying out the cups, the chair not yet sat in, the cafe in the interval between the night and the beginning. The painter only painted mornings, and he was known to say that all the truest beauty lives before the light of day has been negotiated by the needs of ordinary men. The morning is the only time that things are new again. He left his paintings unfinished always at the stroke of 9, and walked away from canvas and from easel and from line, because he said the morning ends, and if you stay too long you start to paint the afternoon, and that is something wrong. They hang now in a gallery where mornings live all day. The curator turns off the lights at noon without delay. She says she's honoring his rule about the quality of light, and every painting only shows the world before it got it right. The painter only painted mornings, and he was known to say that all the truest beauty lives before the light of day. negotiated by the needs of ordinary men. The morning is the only time that things are new again. Wake at 5 and see the world before it knows you're there. The painter knew the morning light is something wild and rare.
Nobody famous comes to the Velvet Blue on Tuesdays. Just people carrying the ordinary weight of their always. The bartender knows your order before you even sit, and the light is just low enough for the night to fit. A couple at the corner booth has run out of new things. They sit in the comfortable silence that a long love brings. And over at the bar, there's a man with a borrowed tie who looks like he's rehearsing something sad to say goodbye. Tuesday night at the Velvet Blue, nobody cares who you are. You're just a silhouette against a very patient bar. The music doesn't ask you what you do or where you've been, just pours itself around you like a very old routine. The pianist forgets himself between the 8 and 9. He disappears inside a run that doesn't need a line. We all lean in a little when a player finds that place where music stops performing and just breathes inside the space. By 11, all the stories in the room have been exchanged. Not out loud, but in the posture, in the way the chairs are arranged. We're all just Tuesday people in a velvet blue of nights, getting quietly untangled from our personal delights. Tuesday night at the Velvet Blue, nobody cares who you are. You're just a silhouette against a very patient bar. The music doesn't ask you what you do or where you've been, just pours itself around you like a very old routine. Last call at the Velvet Blue, and everyone goes slow. There's something about leaving here you carry as you go. In the 17th century, map makers gathered here to trade their observations over coffee, dark and clear. They'd sketch the coastlines on the tablecloths and argue over bends, and the waiter saved the linens where the world changed at its ends. The cafe still stands, though the maps are on the walls now framed. Every cartographic error proudly labeled and unclaimed, because the beauty of a map is not its accuracy, but the courage of the person who said, "Here is where I'll be." Every map begins with sitting still and having coffee brought, with the admission that you don't know all the things you thought. The map maker's coffee house is where the world got drawn, on tablecloths and napkins in the hopeful early dawn. They got the southern hemisphere entirely wrong for years, but the era shows the beauty and the trying through the fears. A map that's wrong but earnest is worth more than never made. It shows a human being staring down the undiscovered shade. I come here now and order what the map makers once took, and trace the coastlines on my cup like the first page of a book. The world is still unmapped in all the places that I know, and I still need a coffee and the courage to let go. Every map begins with sitting still and having coffee brought, with the admission that you don't know all the things you thought. The map maker's coffee house is where the world got drawn, on tablecloths and napkins in the hopeful early dawn. Draw your map on any surface, start with where you are. The best cartographers began inside a cafe bar.
He moved between the tables with his guitar in his hand. He didn't play for couples or for those who'd made their plans. He had a sixth sense for the ones who came in looking down, the ones who ordered quietly and barely wore a sound. He'd sit beside them gently, without asking if it's fine, and play a soft arrangement of whatever seems to align. He didn't need a word from them, he read the way they sat, the way a person holds a cup can tell you where they're at. He played for the lonely ones, the ones who came in alone, who ordered for themselves and never tried to use the phone. His music was a company that didn't need return, just a warmth beside the solitude that helped a person turn. He said once that the lonely ones ones are just the bravest kind. They come into the world each day with absolutely nothing lined. No safety net of company to catch the falling through. Just themselves and a cafe, and the morning coming new. I was lonely on a Tuesday, and he came and sat nearby. He didn't say a word, but played until I stopped asking why. And when he rose and left again, he touched my shoulder light, as if to say the loneliness is also how you find the right. He played for the lonely ones, the ones who came in alone, who ordered for themselves and never tried to use the phone. His music was a company that didn't need return, just a warmth beside the solitude that helped a person turn. Find the lonely one beside you and just sit and breathe and play. Sometimes the kindest music is the kind you give away. He carried a notebook and a compass everywhere he went, and every cafe that he found was carefully documented. The coordinates, the coffee, and the quality of light, the sound the afternoon made, and how the chairs sat right. He'd been to 40 countries and had maps of every kind, but none of them described the things he needed most to find. He said the world's geography was fine for boats and planes, but someone had to chart the soul's interior terrains. Every coffee shop has its own coordinates, he'd say, a north of conversation and a south of going away. The cartographer who mapped only cafes knew the score, that all the best locations are the ones worth staying for. He found one in Vienna with a table near the wall, where Einstein once had coffee and the owner kept the scrawl. He framed the coordinates in gold beside his door at home, a reminder that the beautiful is never far to roam. He published just one volume with a cover worn and soft. The maps were barely legible, but people bought it often. They said the maps were wrong, but felt entirely true. Like every undiscovered cafe felt like something new. Every coffee shop has its own coordinates, he'd say, a north of conversation and a south of going away. The cartographer who mapped only cafes always knew the score, that all the best locations are the ones worth staying for. Find your own coordinates and put them in your book. The best cafe you've ever loved is worth a second look.
He tips his hat at no one in particular today, and sets his leather suitcase down to watch the train delay. The platform holds a memory beneath each cobblestone of every time he left before and every time he's gone. She handed him a handkerchief embroidered with a rose. He keeps it in his breast pocket where his longing grows. The station clock is frozen in a way that clocks tend to when something beautiful is ending in the afternoon blue. A gentleman's farewell at platform 9. The whistle blows and steals the moment from the line. The last train out of something beautiful departs, with luggage full of letters and of dignified old hearts. There's no such thing as a clean goodbye. They say it's always rough. You reach the door and find that turning back isn't quite enough. The train begins to move, and all the things we meant to say get folded into silence and are carried far away. The gentleman retrieves his hat and places it just so. He reads the platform number like it's somewhere he should know. The train arrives in patience and he steps aboard alone, becomes a window figure who is traveling toward home. A gentleman's farewell at platform 9. The whistle blows and steals the moment from the line. The last train out of something beautiful departs, with luggage full of letters and of dignified old hearts. The platform slowly empties and the afternoon turns cool. A gentleman's departure and a gentleman's old school. It leans against the wall in a corner of the club, a silent giant waiting since before the first love. The owner says it came with the building when he bought a double bass that someone left and someone else forgot. The player who arrives each Thursday treats it like his own. He bows a note so low it seems to come from somewhere grown. Beneath the floor, beneath the street, beneath the city's hum, a frequency that everyone feels but never hums. The upright bass in the corner nobody mentions much has absorbed 40 years of music in its wood and touch. It holds the room together when the piano finds its key. The bass is just the ground beneath the melody. A musician told me once that bass is really prayer, the thing beneath the surface that says I'm still here. The lowest note is holding up the highest note above, and the upright bass in the corner is the architecture of love. When the player leaves on Fridays, he leans it back against the wood, never locks the case because he says it never should be sealed away from breathing and from taking in the air. A bass needs to live inside the room to be aware. The upright bass in the corner nobody mentions much has absorbed 40 years of music in its wood and touch. It holds the room together when the piano finds its key. The bass is just the crown beneath the melody. Leave the bass against the wall and let the room be held by something deep and resonant that never needs to be spelled. The bellman at the Grand Hotel has seen 3,000 springs. He folds his hands and watches all the winter partings bring. Their suitcases and sighing and their quietly held hands. He says all lobbies understand the heart's repeated plans. A woman checks her coat tag with a look he knows too well. She's leaving someone here, or she is leaving her own shell. The marble knows the weight of every footstep that's been placed on mornings when the beautiful has slowly been displaced. The lobby knows all the goodbyes, the ones that make no sound, the ones that leave a person standing inches off the ground. The winter window at the Grand holds every foggy breath of those who check out quietly from love or life or both. He's seen the famous stay and the forgotten pass right through, and finds the unknown ones are often more interesting to view. A man once left a letter in the lobby desk and said, I wrote this for the person who would sleep here in my stead. Tonight the lobby's quiet, with just one lamp by the stair. A couple has been standing there so long they're part of the air. The bellman dims the lights, a touch to give them what they need. The Grand Hotel has learned to give the grieving heart its creed. The lobby knows all the goodbyes, the ones that make no sound, the ones that leave a person standing inches off the ground. The winter window at the Grand holds every foggy breath of those who check out quietly from love or life or both. Good night to the Grand Hotel. Good night to all who part. The lobby keeps your goodbyes safe within its marble heart. She sits beside the window with a typewriter she found, clacking out a novel to a slow and patient sound. The waiters bring her coffee and they look the other way. She's been here writing something since the 2nd day of May. The pages accumulate beside her in a stack. She crosses things out boldly and she never looks back. The characters she's building have a life inside this room. The cafe is their city and the corner is their doom. She was writing a novel nobody asked for,
in the corner of a cafe by the half-open door. The typewriter was keeping time, nobody asked to hear. And the novel she was writing would be finished in a year. I asked her what it's about, and she looked up slow. She said, I'm writing everything I'm afraid to know. The heroine is doing what I haven't got the nerve, and the villain is the version of myself I don't deserve. She finished it in autumn with a period and a breath. She sat back in her chair like she'd been rescued from a death, then ordered something warm and watched the rain come down the glass, and left the manuscript behind her when she rose to pass. She was writing a novel nobody asked for, in the corner of a cafe by the half-open door. The typewriter was keeping time, nobody asked to hear. And the novel she was writing would be finished in a year. The cafe kept the manuscript behind the counter for a while, and everyone who read it said it took away their smile. He turned the dial slowly through the static and the night, searching for a station somewhere warm within the white. The lighthouse threw its arm across the dark Pacific Sea, and he sat with his radio and someone else's melody. They played a jazz quartet from somewhere deep in the south, a trumpet like a question answered by a clarinet's mouth. He'd never seen the city where the music had been made, but he knew it like he knew the tide before the morning fade. He heard the world from a distance through his radio's hum, the dances and the laughter and the beat of a drum. A lighthouse keeper's loneliness was never quite complete, because somewhere out in Radio Land the whole world was on its feet. He wrote down every song he heard in a logbook by the lamp, the titles and the feelings pressed between the pages damp. Years later when they found it, they mistook it for a chart, but it was just a man recording music into heart. The signal faded softly as the batteries wore thin. He gave the dial one last turn to pull voices in. They played a final waltz, and then the static ruled again. A lighthouse in the ocean, and an old man in the rain. He heard the world from a distance through his radio's hum. The dances and the laughter and the beat of a drum. The lighthouse keeper's loneliness was never quite complete, because somewhere out in Radio Land the whole world was on its feet. Turn the lighthouse off now, fold the logbook shut, and still he heard enough to know the world was beautiful.
It leans against the wall in a corner of the club, a silent giant waiting since before the first love. The owner says it came with a building when he bought a double bass that someone left and someone else forgot. The player who arrives each Thursday treats it like his own. He bows a note so low it seems to come from somewhere grown. Beneath the floor, beneath the street, beneath the city's hum, a frequency that everyone feels but never hums. The upright bass in the corner, nobody mentions much, has absorbed 40 years of music in its wood and touch. It holds the room together when the piano finds its key. The bass is just the ground beneath the melody. A musician told me once that bass is really prayer, the thing beneath the surface that says I'm still here. The lowest note is holding up the highest note above, and the upright bass in the corner is the architecture of love. When the player leaves on Fridays, he leans it back against the wood, never locks the case because he says it never should be sealed away from breathing and from taking in the air. A bass needs to live inside the room to be aware. The upright bass in the corner, nobody mentions much, has absorbed 40 years of music in its wood and touch. It holds the room together when the piano finds its key. The bass is just the ground beneath the melody. Leave the bass against the wall and let the room be held by something deep and resonant that never needs to be spelled.
She grew up in the back room where the watches all ticked low. A symphony of seconds was the first music she'd know. Her father's magnifying glass enlarged the world he'd mend, and she learned that broken things deserve a careful hand. She heard time differently than those who only wear it. She knew the spaces between the ticks and how to bear it. A second isn't just a second when you've watched it made. It's a gear and spring and intention in a small cascade. The watchmaker's daughter grew up knowing what is rare, that time is something people build with love and patient care. She heard time differently than everyone she knew, and that is why the clocks she made were always running true. She fixed the clock above the cafe, free of any charge. The owner asked, why do it? She just said, it's not so large. The clock had been behind by 8 minutes every day, and 8 wrong minutes daily is a life that slips away. She wound the watches gently with a reverence he'd shown. A woman who had learned that time is all we've ever owned. Her shop is still beside the river if you need to find someone who treats the minutes like they're precious and designed. The watchmaker's daughter grew up knowing what is rare, that time is something people build with love and patient care. She heard time differently than everyone she knew, and that is why the clocks she made were always running true. Tick the moments carefully, don't let them skip or race. The watchmaker's daughter built a tender sense of place.
The city lights are bleeding into fog along the bay. The bar is closing down for some, but I've decided to stay. There's borrowed light from street lamps that don't know my name, and midnight smoke around the room is always still the same. A woman at the bar is reading something worn and thin. Her coffee cup a fortress she has built herself within. The barman pours without a word, as if he's heard my thoughts. We're all just borrowed figures in each other's photographs. Midnight smoke and borrowed light is all that I require. Just a quiet corner and the warmth of fading fire. The trumpet plays a phrase that's older than the song it's in, and somewhere in the blue hour I might find my way again. These blue hour sessions have a language all their own. Confessions made to tables that are happy not to phone. The piano says the things that people can't quite say. We lean into the music till the darkness turns to gray. The clock above the register says something past the late, and I'm the only one left now who isn't in a state. The barman picks his jacket up and says he has to go. I tell him just one more, I say, I really need the slow. Midnight smoke and borrowed light is all that I require. Just a quiet corner and the warmth of fading fire. The trumpet plays a phrase that's older than the song it's in, and somewhere in the blue hour I might find my way again. Close the blue hour up now, let the morning start its claim. The borrowed light extinguished and the smoke behind a frame.
He carried a notebook and a compass everywhere he went, and every cafe that he found was carefully documented. The coordinates, the coffee, and the quality of light, the sound the afternoon made, and how the chairs sat right. He'd been to 40 countries and had maps of every kind, but none of them described the things he needed most to find. He said the world's geography was fine for boats and planes, but someone had to chart the soul's interior terrains. Every coffee shop has its own coordinates, he'd say. A north of conversation and a south of going away. The cartographer who mapped only cafes knew the score, that all the best locations are the ones worth staying for. He found one in Vienna with a table near the wall, where Einstein once had coffee and the owner kept the scroll. He framed the coordinates in gold beside his door at home, a reminder that the beautiful is never far to roam. He published just one volume with a cover worn and soft. The maps were barely legible, but people bought it often. They said the maps were wrong, but felt entirely true. Like every undiscovered cafe felt like something new. Every coffee shop has its own coordinates, he'd say. A north of conversation and a south of going away. The cartographer who mapped only cafes knew the score, that all the best locations are the ones worth staying for. Find your own coordinates and put them in your book. The best cafe you've ever loved is worth a second look.
Irene comes in at closing time, when all the stews are free. She drops a nickel in the jukebox and she asked for C3. That song's been playing every night for going on 3 years. Nobody asks about it anymore, they just adjust their ears. The cook looks up from cleaning and the waitress rolls her eyes, but there's a softness in the way they let the song surprise. They've all heard why she plays it, though she's never said a word. Is the kind of story everybody's understood, but never heard. She played that song again tonight at the Blue Spoon Diner close. She plays it for the one she loves, the one she loves the most. Irene and the jukebox have an understanding here, that some songs are for the living and some songs for the dear. The record's almost worn now, where the needle hits C3. The manager keeps ordering the same one just to see that Irene gets to play it when the diner shuts its eyes. Some things deserve the reverence of everyday goodbyes. Tonight she sat a little longer, staring at the box. The song played twice around and she just sat and watched the clocks. She left a bigger tip tonight and pulled her collar tight and walked out in the falling rain into the Tuesday night. She played that song again tonight at the Blue Spoon Diner close. She plays it for the one she loves, the one she loves the most. Irene and the jukebox
spotlight.
He opens at 6 every morning by the bridge in the cold. Never sells to neighbors who already know the world he's told. He says a flower given where familiarity resides becomes a decoration, but its meaning quietly hides. A stranger passing through will take a lily or a rose and carry it into a life the florist never knows. Perhaps it ends up on a table where decisions are made, or handed to a person at the edge of being afraid. Flowers are for people you don't know yet, he said to me. They carry the full weight of possibility, not yet made ordinary by the habit of the known. The florist sells to strangers what the strangers call their own. Once a man came back and said the tulip changed his life. He'd given it to someone who became his wife. The florist only nodded and said, that is how it goes. A stranger is just someone who the universe still owes. I've bought from him on Tuesdays for a year without a name. He treats me like a stranger every time, and I came because there's something wonderful in being always new, in getting fresh white flowers like the morning always do. Flowers are for people you don't know yet, he said to me. They carry the full weight of possibility, not yet made ordinary by the habit of the known. The florist sells to strangers what the strangers call their own. He closes at noon every day and takes the unsold home and gives them to his garden, which he enters all alone. Opens at 6 every morning by the bridge in the cold. Never sells to neighbors who already know the world he's told. He says a flower given where familiarity resides becomes a decoration, but its meaning quietly hides. A stranger passing through will take a lily or a rose and carry it into a life the florist never knows. Perhaps it ends up on a table where decisions are made, or handed to a person at the edge of being afraid. Flowers are for people you don't know yet, he said to me. They carry the full weight of possibility, not yet made ordinary by the habit of the known. The florist sells to strangers what the strangers call their own. Once a man came back and said the tulip changed his life. He'd given it to someone who became his wife. The florist only nodded and said, that is how it goes. A stranger is just someone who the universe still owes. I've bought from him on Tuesdays for a year without a name. He treats me like a stranger every time, and I came because there's something wonderful in being always new, in getting fresh white flowers like the morning always do. Flowers are for people you don't know yet, he said to me. They carry the full weight of possibility, not yet made ordinary by the habit of the known. The florist sells to strangers what the strangers call their own. He closes at noon every day and takes the unsold home, and gives them to his garden, which he enters all alone.
She stands behind the counter with her pearls and her poise, above the bustle of the store, above the beautiful noise. A woman made of gardenia and sandalwood and cream. She's been here since the store was built, or so it tends to seem. She'll spray a little on your wrist and close her eyes a beat, as if she's reading something in the language of the sweet. She says this one is Tuesday afternoons in June, and this one is the feeling of a half-forgotten tune. Everything here smells like 1954, like stepping through a curtain into someone else's floor. The perfume counter at Delacroix holds time within a glass, and she's the keeper of the years that slowly drift and pass. There are bottles named for evenings that have never quite occurred, for feelings that the language hasn't yet produced the word. She blends them in the back room when she thinks that no one sees. A private little formula for something like the breeze. I bought one for my grandmother, who lives in memory now. She smelled it and she smiled the way the old ones know somehow. She said it was like standing in the hallway of the past, and some things beautiful enough deserve to last and last. Everything here smells like 1954, like stepping through a curtain into someone else's floor. The perfume counter, a Delacroix, holds time within a glass, and she's the keeper of the years that slowly drift and pass. Close the bottles up now, let the fragrance softly fade. But the year 1954 is quietly being stayed. He never touched an afternoon canvas, he would say. The light is compromised by everything that happened in the day. By noon the world has all its shadows in the wrong places. Morning light is the only light tells the truth in faces. He set his easel up before the cafes found their voice, and painted the first hour like it was the universe's choice. The waiter laying out the cups, the chair not yet sat in, the cafe in the interval between the night and the beginning. The painter only painted mornings, and he was known to say that all the truest beauty lives before the light of day has been negotiated by the needs of ordinary men. The morning is the only time that things are new again. He left his paintings unfinished, always at the stroke of 9, and walked away from canvas and from easel and from line, because he said the morning ends, and if you stay too long, you start to paint the afternoon, and that is something wrong. They hang now in a gallery where mornings live all day. The curator turns off the lights at noon without delay. She says she's honoring his rule about the quality of light, and every painting only shows the world before it got it right. The painter only painted mornings, and he was known to say that all the truest beauty lives before the light of day has been negotiated by the needs of ordinary men. The morning is the only time that things are new again. Wake at 5 and see the world before it knows you're there. The painter knew the morning light is something wild and rare.
He came in every autumn with his tuning fork and case, a man who heard the universe in each misaligned space. He'd press a key and listen with his ear against the wood, as if the piano was confessing everything it could. He told me once that every piano remembers everything, every song that's ever played inside its mellowing spring. The arguments that stopped mid-phrase, the children's first attempts, the midnight playing all alone when silence is exempt. The piano tuner's last visit came on a Tuesday cold. He tuned each key as gently as a man tuning the old. He said this instrument has had a long and honest life, and every note in it has known both beauty and some strife. He packed his tools and stood a moment at the door. He said, don't let it go too long between the next restore. A piano out of tune is like a memory that fades. It still plays, but the truth of it is lost inside the shades. He passed away that winter, and his son sent word in spring that his father's tuning fork had been a single treasured thing. He'd asked that it be placed inside an old piano's frame, so so it could go on listening to the music all the same. The piano tuner's last visit came on a Tuesday cold. He tuned each key as gently as a man tuning the old. He said this instrument has had a long and honest life, and every note in it has known both beauty and some strife. Play the old piano softly, let the tuning fork inside. Hear the music it was made for, in the resonance and tide.
He turned the dial slowly through the static and the night, searching for a station somewhere warm within the white. The lighthouse threw its arm across the dark Pacific Sea, and he sat with his radio and someone else's melody. They played a jazz quartet from somewhere deep in the south, a trumpet like a question answered by a clarinet's mouth. He'd never seen a city where the music had been made, but he knew it like he knew the tide before the morning fade. He heard the world from a distance through his radio's hum, the dances and the laughter and the beat of a drum. A lighthouse keeper's loneliness was never quite complete, because somewhere out in Radio Land, the whole world was on its feet. He wrote down every song he heard in a logbook by the lamp, the titles and the feelings pressed between the pages damp. Years later when they found it, they mistook it for a chart, but it was just a man recording music into heart. The signal faded softly as the batteries wore thin. He gave the dial one last turn to pull the voices in. They played a final waltz and then the static ruled again. A lighthouse in the ocean and an old man in the rain. He heard the world from a distance through his radio's hum, the dances and the laughter and the beat of a drum. A lighthouse keeper's loneliness was never quite complete, because somewhere out in Radio Land, the whole world was on its feet. Turn the lighthouse off now, fold the logbook shut and still. He heard enough to know the world was beautiful.
Irene comes in at closing time when all the stools are free. She drops a nickel in the jukebox and she asks for C3. That song's been playing every night for going on 3 years. Nobody asks about it anymore, they just adjust their ears. The cook looks up from cleaning and the waitress rolls her eyes, but there's a softness in the way they let the song surprise. They've all heard why she plays it, though she's never said a word. It's the kind of story everybody's understood, but never heard. She played that song again tonight at the Blue Spoon Diner close. She plays it for the one she loves, the one she loves the most. Irene and the jukebox have an understanding here that some songs are for the living and some songs for the dear. The record's almost worn now, where the needle hits C3. The manager keeps ordering the same one just to see that Irene gets to play it when the diner shuts its eyes. Some things deserve the reverence of everyday goodbyes. Tonight she sat a little longer staring at the box. The song played twice around and she just sat and watched the clocks. She left a bigger tip tonight and pulled her collar tight and walked out in the falling rain into the Tuesday night. She played that song again tonight at the Blue Spoon Diner close. She plays it for the one she loves, the one she loves the most. Irene and the jukebox have an understanding here that some songs are for the living and some songs for the dear. Wipe the counter down now, put the chairs up for the night, and let's see C3 keep playing in the parking lot's cold light. There's a record store on Maple that they're closing down today. The man who ran it 60 years is slowly walking away. He pulls the cardboard boxes from the shelves behind the glass, and every album holds a year he wishes wouldn't pass. I used to come in Saturdays and flip through stacks of gold. He'd recommend the ones he said my young soul should be told.
scratches and these songs, and now the music's fading like it never did belong. Side B was always better than the hit they put on one, the hidden little treasure in the fading afternoon sun. We pressed our ears to speakers and we listened to the whole, not just the shiny single, but the music of the soul. He locks the door behind him, and he doesn't look around, just pockets up the key and walks away without a sound. The window holds his reflection for the last time as he leaves, and somewhere in the empty store a needle softly breathes. The last waltz of the record store is playing out today. The saxophones are crying for a world that slipped away. We built our lives around these grooves, these scratches and these songs, and now the music's fading like it never did belong. Buy me side B one more time before they close the store. I promise I'll remember every note behind that door.
12 blocks of cafes in the snow-lit district of the town. I walk them every winter when the temperature goes down. Each window holds a different amber version of the world, and I'm the man outside of every warmth that has unfurled. The first cafe is full of students arguing with books. The second has a woman with the most extraordinary looks. The third one has a couple, and the fourth has only one. The fifth is being cleaned now, and the sixth has just begun. Winter map of the cafe district, 12 blocks in the cold. The warmth is on the inside, and the outside is the old. I've mapped these windows every year since I was barely grown, and somehow haven't found the one that feels enough like home. I wonder if the ones inside look out and see me there, a figure in the dark outside who seems to have nowhere. Perhaps they think I'm choosing, or I'm studying the light. Perhaps they're also looking for a window in the night. Block 12 is always different from what I expect. A new cafe or renovation or a changed effect. This winter it's a piano bar where someone plays too late,
leaves the door a little open, inviting me to wait. Winter map of the Café district, 12 blocks in the cold. The warmth is on the inside and the outside is the old. I've mapped these windows every year since I was barely grown, and somehow haven't found the one that feels enough like home. Come inside the 12th block, now put the winter map away. You've been looking for permission to be warm, and you can stay. She sits beside the window with a typewriter she found, clacking out a novel to a slow, impatient sound. The waiters bring her coffee and they look the other way. She's been here writing something since the 2nd day of May. The pages accumulate beside her in a stack. She crosses things out boldly and she never looks back. The characters she's building have a life inside this room. The cafe is their city and the corner is their doom. She was writing a novel nobody asked for, in the corner of a cafe by the half-open door. The typewriter was keeping time, nobody asked to hear, and the novel she was writing would be finished in a year. I asked her what it's about, and she looked up slow. She said, I'm writing everything I'm afraid to know. The heroine is doing what I haven't got the nerve, and the villain is the version of myself I don't deserve. She finished it in autumn, with a period and a breath. She sat back in her chair like she'd been rescued from a depth, then ordered something warm and watched the rain come down the glass, and left the manuscript behind her when she rose to pass. She was writing a novel nobody asked for, in the corner of a cafe by the half-open door. The typewriter was keeping time, nobody asked to hear, and the novel she was writing would be finished in a year. The cafe kept the manuscript behind the counter for a while, and everyone who read it said it took away their smile.
There's a cafe in the library where November comes to stay, where the smell of old editions meets the coffee of the day. The bookshelves press, the walls close, and the ceilings feel like thought, and everyone inside is reading something somebody sought. The catalog is handwritten in a script from long ago, each entry like a love note to a book you ought to know. The librarian